Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Jon Anik goes off again about the much contested decision win that Islam Makhachev won over Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 284. Jon Anik breaks down the controversial round 4 that many have weighed the effective grappling and control time versus Volkanovski's position and strikes. Anik also mentions the critics of this round in particular and why even Volkanovski himself thought he lost the round. Here's the clip.
Now, wherever you stand on that, okay, the notion from some people, Sean Sheehan, I love you. I respect your scorecard as much as anybody's in the space. But the notion that Alexander Volkanovski won round 4 when he doesn't think he won it and none of the pro fighters think he won it is absolutely absurd. And I don't even want to inject the word criteria into the conversation, right? Because it gives people grounds on which to criticize me because, oh, he's not listening to, no. People need to give effective grappling the respect that it deserves. This doesn't even have to do, in my humble opinion, with the body triangle. How about the beautiful takedown from Islam Makhachev to actually get the fight to the floor and whatever he did to try to get it to the fence, to get to a more dominant area, to keep the position that Volkanovski didn't even come close to escaping. And Sean Sheehan, I love you, and sent me a great email about his defense. So, but when on Sean Sheehan's Severe MMA podcast, Kenny, he says, right, that it felt like 10 minutes, right? So to me, therein lies the bias already that you don't enjoy seeing Islam do this. The referee's allowing him to do this. This is effective grappling as far as I'm concerned every day of the week. Yeah, there weren't a ton of submission attempts, maybe a little neck crank, maybe he was in danger a little bit there, okay? But not at all here for the Volkanovski 1 round 4 crowd at all. And if we have to whatever we need to do to make sure that we're all aligned on that, I need to help the sport get to that place.
Daniel Cormier believes Aljamain Sterling has done enough to prove he's worthy of being called the champion. Here's what DC had to say during a recent video uploaded to his YouTube channel.
But if Aljamain Sterling has done anything, he has proven that he is worthy of being called the champion, and he has also proven that he has a fighting style that he can pretty much put on anybody he wants to. Because Petr Yan is as good as they come. And Aljamain won that fight in Florida. And he won that fight by taking him down and controlling it. He put 3 rounds in the bank, and then he didn't have to worry as much going into round 4 and 5, which to many, in their belief, Petr Yan won. But ultimately, it's a 5-round fight, and when you won 3, it's over. People talk about TJ Dillashaw being hurt when Aljamain fought him. So what? Aljamain Sterling dominated. Aljamain Sterling has now put himself in position to not only defend his championship, but historical terms. Because everywhere you look in the record book in the UFC, you see the name Aljamain Sterling.
Gilbert Burns gives his take on his fight against Jorge Masvidal that's set to go down at UFC 287.
What's the official prediction, man? UFC 287, you versus Jorge Masvidal. Massive, massive fight in Miami, Florida. How do you see yourself getting the job done?
I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be bloody. I think you're going to get to a point that we're going to bang, you're going to a war, and let's see a finish. Maybe second, maybe late 3rd round. But I'm looking forward to a finish, and then whatever it takes. It could be a jiu-jitsu, it could be submission, it could be a knockout, it could be a TKO, whatever it is. I'm looking forward to finish Jorge Masvidal, UFC 287.
Burns then went on to explain why the BMF title should be on the line.
Hey man, Gilbert's kind of like, the new BMF. Like, you just take fights, you never say no, right?
That's why. That's why, because I fought anyone. I fought these guys that I shouldn't fight, like Hamza, like Neil Magny, Jorge. Those fights don't kind of, as a ranking wise, it doesn't pull me closer to the title. But I keep taking those fights anyways. It's this or start begging for a title fight. I'm not this guy. I'm gonna keep fighting, I'm gonna get better eventually. I'm thinking I'm earning another title shot, maybe with a great win after George.
John Jones reveals that he wanted to have a career in the football field, but he couldn't because he's terrible at it. Here's what Jones had to say in a recent interview.
Here's my question though. Say you would have went the football route, in the NFL, I for one think you could have gotten there. What position would you have played? I don't know. Here's your chance to get back at Chandler. Would Chandler have had to have gone from a future Hall of Famer to maybe being your backup or something like that?
Bro, hear me out. I absolutely sucked on the football field.
No.
I was no good at all. I didn't play until my senior year. I was always on the team, but I never got to play. I just the play calls and the different coverages and just all of it. I never really understood it. And to this day, you know, I play Madden all the time, and I play people who tell me, dude, I'm about to score on you right now. I'm like, why do you think so? It's like, you're in cover 2. And like, I just don't know why people are open. I sucked at football, dude. I made a hell of a bench warmer, though.
Scott Coker expressed his desire to sign Francis Ngannou to Bellator during a recent interview. Here's what the Bellator CEO had to say.
Any update on some of the free agents? Any talks with Francis Ngannou or Nathan Diaz or anyone like that?
Yeah, listen, it's a very fluid situation, and we're in talks with both of them, and let's see what happens.
If you were to sign someone, say like Francis Ngannou, who turned down by all accounts a $7 million contract with the UFC, could you go back to pay-per-view with a fighter like that, or is pay-per-view something that's in the past for Bellator?
I know that from my perspective, when you talk about signing him to Bellator, we're also talking about having a conversation with him and Steven, which happened earlier this week, about getting you into Showtime pay-per-view boxing too. So I think we have a great company to offer him both sides of the combat sports business that he would like to, which is fighting MMA and also box. I think we're a great fit, and so there's ongoing discussions, so we'll see what happens.
Following the announcement of Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo in May, Sean O'Malley gives some insight into where that leaves him in the bantamweight division.
Leaves me in a little position, do I want to be backup fighter? I could be technically if I wanted to be for this amount of money. Do I need that amount of money? Not really. I'm just weird flex. No, I'm kidding. But it's just like weight cuts are hard, dude. They're very hard. I mean, I'm almost thinking right now, we're so far out, it's still tricky to say. I might just do a full fight camp, pretty much spar, diet, get to fight week, and then decide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was talking to Emron about this. I'm like, I would be so sad, dude, if 2 days out, my weight's not low enough to make weight.
Yeah, that would.
And they say, hey, Henry is Taco Bell, and I'm like, should be there. But I'm also like, if it's fight week, there's not gonna. What's gonna, if they get that far,
yeah,
it's not gonna hurt me to do a camp. I don't like getting hit in the head outside, when I don't need to. But I do a pretty good job in sparring, taking care of myself, and I don't think it would hurt me to get 5 rounds, get used to sparring 5 fights,
right, yeah.
So it's almost like a fight camp. But I'm also like, if I'm in shape, ready to go, all the way done, dieted down, 100, like I'm on weight for a fight week, should I just bust out the, make the, depending on, I don't know if it's negotiable, the price on being a backup fighter. If not, I probably won't. If it is, I might, depending if the price comes up.
Daniel Cormier isn't a fan of an immediate rematch between Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski. DC believes both fighters should return to their own weight class to fight the top contenders first. DC said, Islam's got work to do in his own weight class, and so does Alexander Volkanovski. Volkanovski owes it to Yair Rodriguez to go and give him an opportunity to become the undisputed champion of the world. And I don't know if it's fair to Beneil Dariush, if he beats Charles Oliveira, to not get his chance to fight for the lightweight championship of the world. This is the danger in super fights. You get a close super fight and people are wanting to see it again. We have 2 divisions that need the champions back in order to give us a little clarity. Chael Sonnen believes DC may actually be acting on behalf of the UFC with these comments. Here's what Chael had to say.
Daniel will make statements, but they're coming more from a position of I am with the company. Here is the decision that we've made. Daniel is high enough. He's high enough to sit in on enough conversations that when he comes out and he makes what appears to be a statement by the company, sometimes it throws me off. Sometimes I gotta look at that and go, okay, is he telling us something? Is he the spokesperson chosen to get this out? Or is he just a commentator doing his show and the sentence structure was a little bit different?
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.